Welcome to Faith on Film, a program designed to keep you informed on whatever's happening in the world of faith and family entertainment. Now, today is a very special show for me. I am just so honored to have this guest, not only because she is a producer extraordinaire, and not only because she's been a great friend for, I'm going to say, probably about 15, 16 years, but because she is somebody who God has used to speak into my life when I need it most. It seems like every time that I'm facing something difficult, something tough, something where I don't know what direction to take, suddenly I get a phone call or a text or an email from this person and gives me exactly the answer that I need at that moment. So she's a very special person. Mona Hennien is specialized and experienced in television production, consulting overseas, and producing Christian television for secular media. Mona has a passion for storytelling. That passion has inspired her to produce and share people's stories of overcoming adversity and coping with challenging life circumstances like I've had. With over 30 years of experience in producing television programs, she has worked with numerous networks, including PBS, ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS, ESPN, and PAX. Throughout her career, she has won 6 Emmys and has been nominated for 7. In 2006, she started her own company, Life Focus Communications, producing programming that reflects God's goodness, telling real stories to show that hope is real. Mona, welcome to Faith on Film. Oh my gosh, what an honor to have you on.
It is a delight to be here with you, Isaac. And it's true. You are one of the people that actually helped Life Focus come into existence. And thank God for you as well. So I think the feeling is quite mutual.
Well, that's
and actually, I think both of our stories, Isaac, is a lot about when God puts a passion or a call. I don't know if it's passion and call, which they go hand in hand.
Yes.
He works in mysterious ways to see it all come together. So
amen. That's right.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to learn all about Life Focus here shortly, but first in this segment, we want to know all about you. How did this passion start? How did it kick in and just launched you to produce, faith-based media?
Well, I mean, I know this. I did start out not in television. I was actually pre-med, and I was yes.
I didn't know that.
I was studying in after college. I worked in a exercise physiology lab. I actually worked with rats, real ones, not
not the media kind.
Not the media rats, real rats, exercising rats. So I spent my days actually putting rats on a treadmill and letting them run and studying their hormones and actually how exercise affects you. And I was also studying for the MCATs. And at that time, my boss came in to the lab and looked at me and said, "You're fired." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, actually, I'm trying to do you a favor. I really think you're an amazing person, but you are not a scientist by any means. Actually, I've seen you write, and I think you should go into that." So they actually gave me months to leave, and he was right. I couldn't, as much as I liked science, I knew I wasn't a scientist. And so I went, and that's when I went back to school and studied journalism. And that's how I actually launched my career. But more importantly, I think that I'm also the daughter of missionaries. And so being a doctor made more sense because missionary doctors, we've all heard of that, but who's heard of missionary television producers? No, I mean, I guess I wasn't wise enough to know that at that time, and now more than ever, that the media is a mission field. We are in the marketplace, and what we produce, people watch. And in fact, if you want to be a missionary, it's the most powerful place to be.
Right.
And as you know, the media changes people's lives. It influences how you think. It influences how you act. It influences who we are. So why not Christian missionaries in the media? And that's how I actually view my work. I consider myself a modern day missionary, and using media technology. Now it's back to radio, as you know, podcasts. And it's how you reach the masses.
Yeah.
So.
Now, interestingly enough, you went from wanting to heal bodies as a missionary to
Yes.
healing souls as a missionary.
Correct.
Because the two, I feel that our body that we are made up of three things. We're made up, of course, the spirit, the body, and the soul. And you know what?
Right.
We've a lot of us have not taken very good care of our bodies, and they know that shows. But when we change our eating habits, it does change our bodies. Well,
Correct.
a lot of us don't take good care of our souls, and so we end up with very unhealthy souls because of the media that we intake. So you're still in the healing ministry. You just gone from one part of our threesome to the other one. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. That is beautiful. It is a healing ministry. And, you know, it's really important to, in what I do, is not just, it's the real essence of what it means to be a Christian. And so I think that as a modern day missionary, it's important in my stories that they're very real, that we tell stories that, you know, you may come to know Christ, but it's not all roses after that. In fact, as Jesus might even say, that, you know, you're going to suffer a little bit, maybe, you know, but you will have a fulfilled and beautiful life.
Amen.
But it might not be the easiest road because, especially in the media, and I don't know, Isaac, if you've ever experienced this, but we're blocked.
Yeah.
There are many things that will block our message,
Amen,
but as you know, God protects
right.
us and opens doors that we never thought were possible.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to take a little break right now, Mona, but when we come back, let's talk about that program that you produced that is healing souls. And by the way, I believe that is how we met. I was at an NRBE, I think it was, and I saw the program and was just mesmerized by it. I had never seen faith-based TV of that quality.
Thank you. Yes, I remember it well. And I remember it well, and I remember you well then. So.
All righty, well, we'll come right back. All right, folks, don't go away. We'll be back with Mona Hennien. Welcome back to Faith on Film. We've been hearing from Mona Hennien, who, as I mentioned, is not only a good friend and a great producer, but somebody who really speaks into my life when I need it most. Mona, okay, so we met at an NRB because you had this program, which I guess is the program. Is that the only program that is that how you got started with Life Focus?
So I before I met you, I developed this program with another Christian ministry, and basically that ministry ran out of money, and so I was on my own, and I said, you know, okay, here's this program, and it hadn't won awards then yet, but we'd been nominated for many awards, and I said, okay, God, what am I going to do? I mean, you called me into this field, and I sent you some of the program episodes.
Ah, yes.
And that is what happened. We did meet at the NRB shortly after that, but I think that it was your first day on the job, I believe.
Might have been, yes.
I believe it was, or the first week, and you called me and said, we want to air this series. And it was because of you that I started Life Focus Television. And it was now a ministry that born from the passion of a television executive and a producer wanting to bring real, raw Christian programming on television. And it was you. So I guess I'm getting a little bit teary-eyed because it was just an incredible open door. And you know, of course, Isaac, I've ever since then, I've been following you and so excited to see where the Lord has taken you and where he is going to take you. But yeah, and that's what you do. I think you look for talent, you look for different, and you bring it onto the airwaves. So, you know, we can't underestimate that.
One thing that I remembered that caught my eye, first of all, is that I grew up in Christian television. I've been working Christian television since I was a teenager. And most of it was, you know, very similar. It was this preacher or that preacher or this teacher or that teacher or televangelist or that televangelist or music shows. And here what I saw in what you had was something that it was more similar to the content or the programming that I would see on big network television, specifically like 60 Minutes. I remember when I watched it, I thought, this looks like 60 Minutes, but these are very positive stories of how our faith in God can really, make an impact in our lives. But what I liked was, of course, the quality and just the whole style. I didn't know Christian programming like that existed. So that's why I said, we got to get this program on.
Well, it's interesting because I did hire a 60 Minutes producer to train our producers. So, I mean, so it's interesting that and I remember calling New York and asking for, is there any sort of executive there that would come to our small little Christian ministry and train us. So I didn't think I'd get a call back. So they said, just send in some of your tapes. And so we did. And this gentleman who had worked for 60 Minutes for 25 years as a producer called me, and he said to me, do you really believe this? What you sent me, do you believe? Is this, and I said, yes, I do. I believe this. And I want to learn how to produce so that someone like you would believe it. Wow. So he said, okay, I'm going to come out. So he came out and he trained our staff 3 times, each time a week long, to teach us how to produce like 60 Minutes so we can present Christianity so the secular mind would accept and understand.
And that's the neat thing about your show, is that it isn't just on Christian televisions. I mean, I read a whole list of networks here that you've worked with: PBS, ABC, Fox, NBC. You are crossing over, but you're not crossing over and leaving what you're supposed to bring with you. You've brought that too. You've brought Christianity. You've brought hope. You've brought all that over to that secular side, and that's what's amazing about your show.
And I think it should be a sense of encouragement to anyone who is working in the media or anyone who supports the media. There's not a rejection of Christian television. The Christian message is not rejected. What's rejected is the way of presenting, and it's very much like in Paul on Mars Hill. He said, "This is great. You got all these ideas; they're amazing. But let me tell you about the unknown God, the unknown idea." And he presented Christianity in the marketplace. So it's how it's presented, and that's what I learned from secular producers and secular executives. We don't mind your message; we just mind how you tell us. And so there's really someday maybe, Isaac, you and I could, do a few workshops so that more Christians can get their programming on secular networks, because it's needed, it's in demand, they want it.
Wow. To be honest with you, I don't feel I have the talent to do that. I don't have the talent to teach. I don't have the talent to produce what you're producing. What I do have is the eye to see you guys that can do that.
I don't know. You've taught a lot of people, and you've trained a lot of people. I've heard and I've seen. You have a huge following. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now I don't know what to say. I know.
I know. It's not about me. I know.
It's not about me. It's about you. But I tell you what. On that note, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about more things that you're working on, because I know that this is not the end of Mona Hennien here. There's got to be so much more in there.
There's so much on the horizon. I can't wait to tell you.
Fantastic. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Faith on Film. We continue here today with Mona Hennien, who is going to talk all about what she's doing, not what I'm doing. Mona, so you mentioned, before we started the program, you mentioned a new program. You mentioned a couple of programs, but there was one that you mentioned that I think we might want to hear about. But I'll tell you what, let's take a quick look at that trailer. And then when we come back, you can tell us all about that and all about how we can reach you, all right?
Okay.
Okay. Wow. That really does look like another Mona Hennien masterpiece.
Thank you.
Tell us all about it.
That was the trailer for Twist of Faith, and let me tell you the genesis of that. So our first series, Life Focus, aired on TBN and on PBS. And and after that first series, Life Focus, it aired several years on PBS, and it's actually airing all over the world right now. PBS executives came to us and said, we really were shocked by how Life Focus, your first series, did. We reached maybe over 44 million viewers, 138 markets, and we are really surprised. And actually now there's a demand for more Christian programming. So we are asking you to produce another series. And we want this to be more Christian. In other words, not just on PBS, you might see programs that are about Christianity, the Christian history or whatever. They said, no, we want to know what is the intimate steps of being a Christian? How does this work? So we came up with the series concept called Twist of Faith. And basically, it is a deeper look into personal Christian stories. So on the trailer, you saw we interviewed Rick and Kay Warren about their son's suicide. And they talk about how their faith, they didn't lose their faith, but they did definitely question if God was good. Rick and Kay Warren questioning whether God was good. Those are the kinds of stories, and how their life changed. That moment when your life changed, and it's always at that moment when you question your faith. And if you have lived and haven't had that moment, you haven't lived yet. So I think if you're 35 and it will come. Everyone has trauma at some point in their life where you will say, where are you, God? And in a couple of those episodes, I also introduced some of my own traumas and how I wasn't it wasn't even questioning the faith. I don't have it anymore, God. I'm done. This is not what I signed up for. But guess what? The Lord found me. And it's those moments. So we describe all these moments. We find people who really came to that moment in their life where they just their faith is not working. The Christian faith is not working. And I know many people wonder. Many people are saying, my faith isn't working. They might not even say it out loud, but they say it. You will say it. This isn't working. Yep. And so Twist of Faith looks at those moments. And we hope that these stories encourage people to realize that, hey, if God worked in Rick and Kay Warren's life, if God worked in Alice Cooper's life, if God worked in Smokey Robinson's life, if God worked in Mona Hennien's life, where they totally left their faith or gave it up or questioned God, he is going to work in your life, for sure.
Amen. I've definitely had those moments several times, not just once. And what I mentioned at the very beginning of the show about God using you as that voice was exactly those times. And interestingly enough, you just said something right now about feeling, it's not that you lost your faith, but you feel like God is nowhere near. And what you did was, when I thought he wasn't around, you brought him back to me, and you showed me, hey, here he is. He's not left you. You just have maybe turned your face around a little bit, and so you kind of you presented him back to me. So
right.
You're very good at that.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, I really Life Focus is, we're not connected to any major ministry. We completely depend on grants, funds, donors, people to. This is an important message. We also get primetime airtime on secular networks, and this was requested. So when someone requests you to present the gospel, how do you not? How do you not present the gospel? It's and if you're seeing this, do pray for us. We really want to complete this series by 2022 and get it on the air, and have it available first for the secular, then Christian stations around the world.
So this is a great opportunity now for you to share with us how we can do that. How do we reach you? How do we follow you? How do we help you?
Yes, well, you can help definitely on our website. There's a donate button, www.lifefocus.tv.
Okay.
And and all of our contact information is there. And I mean, I hate, I'm not great at asking for funds or support, but I'm actually a little bit bolder now because of the need for this program, not only for Christians, not only for non-Christians, but for Christians. This COVID has really done it for us, the church. I think we are all feeling what Twist of Faith wants to present is where, why am I here? I mean, everything shut down, the churches, and there's a sense of inertia. And I read about an article the other day. We're feeling inertia, and this program hopefully will say, even in inertia, God is there. He has a reason for you to be on this earth. And through these stories, you'll be inspired. And hey, and if you have a great story, please do let us know as well.
Fantastic. Well, Mona, time has just gone by like that, but I'm so glad you took the time. Yeah, I know. I'm so glad you took the time to be with me today. Again, you're very special to me, and it was such a privilege to have you on the show today.
It's an honor, it's all mine, and God bless you and your viewers and your program as well. Thank you for this opportunity.
Amen. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Faith on Film. I'm so glad you were able to tune in today. As I mentioned earlier, Mona has been a special friend to me. She's been there when I needed encouragement, and she's been there to encourage me. So hopefully you were able to get something out of what she had to say today. I want to remind you, though, that if you want to watch some good, wholesome, faith-based and family entertainment, check out 24 Flicks. It's a place where you can find a lot of great content for you and your family. Simply go to 24flix.com. That's 24flix.com. And of course, don't forget, I really would like to hear from you. So just write me at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. And if you want to follow me, just follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Well, until next week, take care.